Hey guys, Akimbo Chris out here again on the range today with Crusader Armory TV. And today guys, we're talking about the new Smith & Wesson Shield Plus Carry Comp. This is one of Smith & Wesson's new additions to their line of handguns that actually comes with a comp on the barrel, and they're also vented. So this should help out with the recoil mitigation quite a bit. They just released this along with a full size, and they also released it with a aluminum frame one. So I picked up the Shield personally because I've got some experience with the Shield. I've owned a Shield before, and I've never really been a big fan of them. You know, they've always been a little bit on the snappier side, and I really don't like compact, snappy handguns because in a stressful situation, they're just very, very hard to use the way that you would need to use them. So I'm very, very interested in trying this out today. We're gonna give you our first impressions because we haven't shot this gun before. So this is fresh out the box, our first impressions, what we think about it. So we're gonna get to shooting, and we're gonna give you our opinion and our thoughts on what we think about the handgun. Also, just before we get into the shooting, again, shameless plug here, you know, we do have our own clothing brand coming out. So that is something that I'm wearing here. You'll see this is modern day Crusader for Crusader Armory TV. This is a Christian oriented brand, really surrounded around like a tactical style design, or some of them are like gym style designs for anybody who considers themselves to be a warrior of God, right? A lot of the Bible verses that we put on these shirts are very oriented towards warriors, because there's a lot of Bible verses in the Bible that, you know, signify that. So this shirt here, you do have the modern day Crusader on the front. You have the Warrior of God logo on the sleeve, and then on the back here you have a gladiator, you know, sifting through the sand with a cross in the back, and you have the Exodus Bible verse, you know, the one that says, you know, all the enemies who oppose you will oppose me, will become enemies to me, something along those lines. I'm very bad with remembering verses, but that's what this shirt stands for. So if you're a Christian and you like to shoot guns, or you like to go to the gym and you really want to rep that, please stay tuned for our merch drop whenever that does drop. So yeah, without further ado, we're just gonna get into kind of what comes in the box and go over the Shield Plus. All right guys, so just kind of looking in what comes in the box when you do buy this gun, the thing that really attracted me to this gun is right now they have a rebate where, you know, you can go online and you can get a Viridian green dot with the purchase of this pistol. So right now the pistol is retailing right around 600 bucks. So, you know, you get that plus a $250 red dot on top for $600. So I think it's actually a really good deal that you're getting. But you do get the gun in the box. You do get 3 magazines with it. So you get a 15 round mag or a 10 round mag for YouTube compliance. These are limited, but if you weren't in YouTube land, you would get a 13 round mag if you weren't in YouTube land. Then you would get a flush fit mag that I believe this one is 10 rounds. So you got 3 mags with the gun. You get the firearm, Smith & Wesson Shield Plus. You get the comp barrel, the vented slide. So maybe that will help out with recoil a little bit. You do get the gun. You get a cleaning kit with it. So you do get a little Smith & Wesson cleaning kit. This is a performance center. So you get a nice little cleaning kit there. That's actually a really good addition. And obviously all your manuals and, you know, everything like that. So that's kind of what you get in the box. You get a performance center box. So yeah, not much to talk about there, kind of unentertaining. So let's get to shooting. All right guys, just real quick before we do shoot the gun, I'm just gonna go over just my first impressions on, you know, the aesthetics and the way the gun looks and the features of it and what I dislike and like about it just off the rip. So the first thing that I will say about this firearm is that, you know, this is a 4-inch barrel. So you have a pretty good sized barrel here, but for some reason they cut the light mount on this short, right? Like they gave you that proprietary standard Shield light mount when they have enough space here to put a decent sized rail in this gun for you to be able to put a flashlight, something like a TLR7 or something like that. However, they use the old Shield mount, light mount, so there's really only one light you can get for this, which is made by Streamlight. And it's like 100 to 130 lumen light, so it really limits your options on what you can mount on this firearm. So that is one thing that I will say just right off the rip that I don't like. I do like that it does have an optics mount. You do get night sight on this, so your front sight is a night sight. The back sights are black. I know a lot of people like that. Me personally, I like a full set of night sights. I know a lot of people don't, but that's just my personal preference. But at 600 bucks, I really can't complain, because there's a lot of guns out there for $600, $650 that don't come with night sights at all. So, you know, that is a good point to make. Plus, you get the comped and vented barrel. I do think this gun looks really good. This has that Armor Night finish on it, which, in my opinion, it's just hard. It's just hard as hell. It looks good. It looks good when the sun hits it. It has that like reflective look to it, and it's a nice coating to protect your gun over time from rust and things like that. So aesthetically, it looks really good. The mags, I did load a few rounds here. Even for compact mags, the spring seems pretty reasonable. This was very easy to load a few rounds into, not too stiff. So, you know, if it's for somebody who maybe doesn't have a whole bunch of finger strength to load mags, you know, that's definitely a plus. I haven't really tested the trigger yet, so let's do a quick trigger pull. The gun is empty, so let's see kind of what that looks like. All right, start to pull, hit the wall. All right, reset. Right there. Not bad, not bad. It seems just a tad bit heavy, but it is a brand new gun. So I'll have to see how it feels when we start to shoot it. But overall, guys, I really like the aesthetics of this gun. I would say the biggest downside is that I wish that they included a full-size rail for a light. So yeah, let's get to shooting, and let's see how this thing turns out. All right, guys, we're gonna take a quick 5-round group test at the target down here, just to see how well it groups. We're not far at all. This is like a self-defense distance, so we'll just start out here and see how it shoots. So I'm really excited to see how this comp works on this gun. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of the Smith & Wesson Shield. I think it's a little bit snappy, so maybe this will change my mind. Let's see. Was this a good purchase? All right, let's see. We'll test the trigger as well. All right, I'm gonna aim center mass. Oh, that was low. Not bad for first time shooting the gun. I mean, all are on target, but yeah, zoom into that on that. So I think we can do a little bit better. I just got to get used to the gun and the trigger. The trigger's not bad, to be honest with you. It's very predictable. You hit the wall, squeeze, bam. It's not too heavy, not too light. I think it's probably good for a carry gun. It's probably perfect for a carry gun. So let's load a few more rounds in here, and let's do a little bit more shooting. All right, we're gonna do another 5 rounds just to see if we can improve on that a little bit, since that was the first time shooting the gun. What I will say is it is nowhere near as snappy as the original Shield. So definitely cut down on some of the recoil. It shoots pretty smooth. I mean, it actually feels pretty good. I can't imagine, you know, mounting a light and a red dot on this thing, putting a little bit more weight on it, mitigating that recoil a little bit more, and you know, being able to pull up, get a little bit more accurate with it. So let's take another shot, and let's see what we can do. All right, let's look at the target. So, as you guys know, I notoriously pull left on my shots. So that's why you see this grouping here left, but that's really not bad at all. Not bad for just some point shooting. I think I could probably correct and do a little bit better. That's not bad for straight out the box. You know, I'm not disappointed at all. The gun feels pretty good. We're gonna do some drills with it later on in this video. Some shooter ready, stand by. You know, maybe we'll do a little bit of movement drills, and we'll really see how it performs in a situation. So let's load up some more rounds, and let's step back a little bit. This is probably somewhere around 10 to 12 yards, maybe 15. I don't know. I need to get a rangefinder so I can give you guys accurate information. But not very far, but still at a good self-defense distance. let's look at it. Alrighty, you can definitely see that they spread out just a little bit. Looks like I pulled one or two here. Yeah, we're still shooting left. I'm just notoriously bad for shooting left. We're gonna put a new target on here, and then we're gonna do some more shooting from some range, and then we'll get to doing some drills with this gun. And then I'll let my cameraman shoot it and see what he thinks, first impressions. And then, yeah, we'll call it there. We don't want to make this video too long for you guys. It's just the first impressions, but we will come back and do a review on the gun after we put a few hundred rounds through it, and we'll probably slap that Viridian red dot on. As I said, you can get a rebate on these until the 30th. The probability you see in this video before the 30th is probably pretty low, so I don't know if it will still be available, but if you buy this gun before the 30th, you can do a rebate and get a Viridian green dot to go on this gun. And from what I've heard and what I read online, they're some of the clearest dots you can get on the market, so they're really good for the price. So you guys will see this gun transform. We'll do a build on this gun. We'll probably throw that streamlight on here and a nice optic. All right, we're gonna take a few more shots here, about 15 yards. So far, I mean, we've only put maybe like 15 or 20 rounds through it. It's been reliable, hasn't choked. Didn't expect it to. I mean, Smith & Wesson makes some really good firearms. At the end of the day, there's people on the internet who like to hate on their ARs and stuff like that, call them poverty ponies. But at the end of the day, Smith & Wessons, especially the M&P lines, they just run. They just run. They might not be the most Gucci thing in the world, but they run. And that's what I like about Smith & Wesson. I definitely respect Smith & Wesson as a company. So we're going to take some more shots here at about 15 yards. Now, in a real case scenario, you would probably never shoot at this distance with a gun like this, but we're gonna do it anyway because it's comped and it's got a vented barrel, and it feels pretty smooth. It feels pretty flat for what it is. Like I said, compared to the original Shield that I used to own way back in the day, this feels a night and day difference. So if you're one of these people who may be new to shooting and you're looking for a carry gun, like a compact carry gun, this is still pretty small. Even though it's got the 4-inch barrel, this may be for you. It definitely shoots a lot flatter. You can definitely touch the thing that you're trying to touch with this a lot easier compared to something like the original Shield. I'm not sure how much the comp has to do with that, but it may just be the barrel size. But I mean, it feels pretty solid. So far so good. All right, let's check it out. Very hot today. Very, very hot in the Carolinas. Grouping's kind of shit, but we hit the paper. I mean, this is a compact handgun, guys, so you're not gonna have the best accuracy out of it. You know, you move it an inch, it shoots a mile off. But I mean, we got, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. Pretty good, pretty good. All right, cameraman, let's know what you think.
I think I hit this one, maybe this one. I at least hit a few. But I do like it. Overall, handgun feels really nice.
All right, guys, now we're gonna do some drills. So, you know, this is a self-defense application. So we're just gonna kind of test it. I'm gonna do 3 shots. We're gonna get a shooter ready, stand by. He'll pop out 1, 2, 3, then run over that way, and then take another 3 shots. So, yeah, let's get right to it and see how it performs.
Shooter ready, stand by, beep.
I think I pulled 1. It's not bad. It feels good. It feels good. Look, for a carry gun, it's not bad at all. These guns are not really meant for competition. Now look, I know this one's comped and everything and it looks fancy, but this, at the end of the day, is really meant for like a concealed carry application. That's not bad at all. There's a lot of concealed carry guns out there that have shit triggers and that are snappy as hell and hard to hit anything, especially while moving. So for me, that's pretty impressive. I'm not a fantastic shooter, but yeah, I'm pretty impressed with that. So let's run a few more and let's have some fun with it. What I will say is, you know, thank God for Smith & Wesson including the extended magazines with this gun. A lot of compact guns for me, and maybe some of you out there can relate. You know, I have very long, lanky fingers. So when I wrap my finger, or when I wrap my hand around the gun, you know, a lot of times with these compact guns, my pinky's hanging off. But with these extended magazines, it makes it perfect for a grip if you have bigger hands. So I really do like that about this gun. So yeah, I will just say that. But all right, let's we're gonna do this drill, and let's have some fun with it. You should always practice, guys. You should always practice. You never know when you'll have to use it. You should always practice movement and things like that. But you should always not only practice with your firearm, but you should practice physically. You should train yourself physically. You should train yourself mentally. You should train yourself financially. Because if you ever get in a sticky situation, God forbid you have to use a firearm, then you know you have to be, one, you don't know what the situation is going to be. You may have to run, things like that. Maybe you don't have a firearm. You have to defend yourself with your hands. You know, if you do end up having to hurt somebody, God forbid, then you're going to need lawyers and things like that. So you always need to make sure that you're training yourself physically, financially, mentally, and even spiritually, right? Because not everybody comes out of the situation alive. So if you do end up in a sticky situation, you get hurt, you get killed, something like that, God forbid, you want to make sure that you're right with your spiritual side, you know, so whatever you believe in. You know, me personally, Jesus Christ. So, all right, let's get to this drill.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Beep.
Clear all the smoke from the ported barrel. I believe all those were all. We got one right over the shoulder. We would have skimmed his shoulder. Yeah, we would have maybe hit him in the trap. It depends on how big his traps were. If he was a gym goer and he had some really big traps, you know, maybe on a little bit of TRT, then we might have skimmed that motherfucker. But yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It looks like most of them were hits. We kind of got combined holes here from the last drill, but whatever. I mean, that's pretty good. All right, guys. Now we're just doing another drill, 5 shots. Just kind of a unilateral drill. Pull up, 5 shots, bam. And we're gonna back up, bam, 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 bam. You never know when you'll have to space yourself away from the attacker. You know, sometimes you just need to get some distance, you know, depending on the situation. So, God forbid you get stuck in something like that. But I'm just out here training for fun, all right? I don't want no smoke, no beef, no nothing with anybody, all right? I'm just out here training for fun. But yeah, let's get to it.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Beep.
Look like they're all hits. It's kind of looks like I moved around a little bit. Let's put a fresh target up and let's do it again.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Beep.
Not bad. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all hits. We hit them in the trap. That'd probably be a pretty hurtful shot, getting hit in the trap. You know, shut down your shoulder, can't move anymore. We disarmed him humanely. But yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, this gun performs pretty good for the size and you know what it is. So yeah, we're gonna do one more drill and then we'll close it out.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Beep.
I definitely pulled a little bit there. But, oh, we got one center mass. Bam! Heart shot. 1, 2, 3. Where was this one here already?
I don't think so.
4. I may have pulled one, but that's not bad. That's not bad. Moving around with the gun. Yeah, I'm actually thoroughly impressed for the size of this gun. I really did not like the shield. I never shot the original Shield Plus though. I only really shot the, you know, like the original Shield. So I'm not sure. No, I never shot the 4-inch barrel is what I'm saying. Maybe this is the only one with the 4-inch barrel. I don't know. Need to probably research. So overall, guys, my final thoughts on the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus Carry Comp. My first impressions. I think this gun performs very, very well for its size and for what it is. A lot of the, you know, the target accuracy and things we had out here with this, I couldn't have done with the Shield. Now, sure, there's better shooters out there than me that could have probably done a lot better. But me personally, you know, I've shot the Shield. I've got a lot of friends that carry the Shield, and this definitely feels a lot better than the original Shield. So, overall, guys, I think for what it is, the size of this gun, it performs well. We did some drills out here. It was fairly easy to shoot. I think that the vented barrel in the comp definitely has a little bit to do with that. You know, most competition guns, people will throw comps and things like that on them to make them shoot a little bit flatter. And in this case, I definitely think that this gun shoots a little bit flatter. I will say, just like I said before, I do wish that Smith did include a full rail mount so we could put whatever light we wanted to on this, so we could really customize this, because it is a very attractive looking gun. And if you're like me, I build guns like Legos, right? I like them to look good. I like to put a nice optic on them, a nice light, and make them look fancy and things like that. Most gun enthusiasts do. So I do wish they added the option. However, you know, you do have your red dot mount for an optic, which is great, especially that you can get the rebate with that Viridian green dot right now and shoot this gun. So just first impressions, trigger's pretty good. For a carry gun, I mean, I'm kind of impressed. For 600 bucks, this is not a bad gun. For 600 bucks, you get a base Glock 19 that's not comped, right? That doesn't have night sights already built into it. So there's definitely some pros to the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus carry comp. I like to see all these comp guns coming out. I feel like 2025 is the year of comp guns. It seems like we're seeing a lot of comped pistols coming out. So I'm very excited to see what comes out next. It seems like there's a lot of offerings coming out on the market, and I'm ready to try them. I like handguns that shoot flat. That's why I like the 5.7. That's why I like 22 pistols. You know, I like to practice with them a lot because they're flat shooting. You can, if you stick an optic on them, they're basically tack drivers. Even something like a 2011, right? I think that's the biggest attractiveness to the 2011 is that it's a 9mm, but it's a little bit heavier, and the recoil mitigation is negligible compared to something like a 45 1911, right? So, you know, overall, I think first impressions, I'm pretty impressed. I am going to build this gun out, and then we'll do another video on it. So I'm going to put a red dot on it or some type of optic, and we're going to put a light on it, and we're going to come back out here. Maybe we'll just do a full day of drills with me and a couple of my buddies, just to see how well the gun performs. I do like that they included 3 magazines, so you definitely have some magazines to switch out in your rotation to keep that pressure off the springs, to keep them from degrading quicker over time. Trigger's not bad on it. And ergonomics are pretty good, at least for me. I'm a right-handed shooter. I'm not a unique person like some of you lefties out there. However, the gun has performed very well for me, especially with the slide serrations. If you do like the press check, very, very easy. I am kind of eager to try out Smith & Wesson's aluminum frame version as well. Not of the Shield, but it is the full size, or it might even be like the compact, but not the Shield. That aluminum frame, I am kind of interested in trying that out just to see, you know, how that feels with the comp plus the extra weight from the aluminum frame. I mean, that probably makes a night and a day difference compared to the polymer. So hopefully we can get our hands on one of those pretty soon, and we'll do a video on it. That'd probably be a good competition gun. Overall, guys, my opinion for the size, I mean, it's a very capable firearm. Just from the reliability, we probably put 80 or 90 rounds to it today on and off camera. And it has cycled everything so far, and we're just running some, you know, Winchester white box FMJ. So it feeds the ammo pretty reliably. I mean, the Shields have always been known to be pretty reliable. That's why a lot of people carry them. So no surprise there. We'll put a few more boxes of ammo through this off camera. We'll put a couple hundred rounds through it, and then we'll come back and we'll do a review on the gun. Just overall, you know, maybe a 500 round review. And then when we come back with it, you'll see the optic and the flashlight. So let me know what you guys think about the new Smith & Wesson Carry Comp series. Let me know if you have one. Let me know what your opinions are in the comments below. And if you guys have not already, please like and subscribe to our channel. We're going to be releasing new content every week. Trying to pick up some new guns for you guys, just to kind of give our first impressions on it. I've been shooting guns for years, since I was a very, very young age. My dad was a NRA instructor, and you know, he taught a lot of classes and things like that. So I do have a lot of experience shooting handguns, rifles, shotguns, you know, hunting, fishing, things like that. So there's gonna be a lot more to come on the channel. Hopefully we're gonna shoot some fishing content next month out on Topsail Island, doing some king mackerel fishing. So please subscribe, like, and comment on this channel to keep us in the algorithm, because YouTube hates us. And please, you know, stay tuned if you want to see some outdoors content, because that's the type of content we're going to produce on this channel. So I'll see you guys next time, and I'm out.